Welcome to this explainer. We're going to dive right in today because honestly, this stuff is absolutely fascinating. Did you know you're literally communicating volumes of highly sensitive info about yourself, your confidence, and your intentions without ever saying a single word? It's wild. Today, we're decoding the hidden language of human behavior. We're going to transform the insights from our source material into a visual, step-by-step playbook so you can master the unspoken signals happening all around you. So here's our game plan for the secret playbook today. We'll start with the art of baselining, then move into how to spot deception, commanding any room, decoding world leaders, and finally wrap things up with some social and romantic secrets. All right, section 1, the art of baselining. This is truly the foundation of reading anyone. See, everybody acts differently when they're just, relaxed. Baselining is basically the process of observing a person's normal, stress-free behavior. Like, how fast do they blink? How much do they use their hands when they talk? What's their natural vocal pitch? And to figure this out, experts recommend a surprisingly simple trick. Just ask them regular, truthful questions. Ask them what their favorite sport is, or maybe about a favorite childhood holiday. Because when the brain is relaxed and telling the truth, you get a super clean read on their natural state. Now, the contrast here is where things get really fascinating. Once you've got that normal behavior locked in, you're on the lookout for deviations caused by what experts call cognitive load. Basically, when a person's brain is under pressure from stress, or maybe they're actively fabricating a lie, their body subtly shifts. They'll go from this relaxed posture and natural hand gesturing to, well, freezing up. Their physical movements just kind of shut down. Gesturing drops way off, and you'll often catch them resorting to these little self-soothing touches just to calm their own nervous system down. Moving right along to section 2, how to spot deception. It's time to move beyond the Hollywood myths. Let's break down the real, actual subtle signs of lying. When the brain is working incredibly hard to spin a fake story, physical movement just completely shuts down. You're going to notice a major decrease in hand movements and this overall frozen posture. Another huge tell? Pacifying gestures. This is when someone non-sexually touches their face or their neck to unconsciously soothe their anxiety. Oh, and if you ask a direct question and they suddenly deflect or totally change the subject, yeah, that's a classic textbook sign they're hiding something. There's a quote from our sources that captures this core philosophy perfectly. It says, "Good liars can fake hand movements, but cognitive load is harder to hide. An expert liar might know to keep their hands moving to look perfectly normal, but that cognitive load, that intense mental strain of keeping a lie straight, is incredibly difficult to mask. True detection is all about spotting that mental strain leaking out, not just looking for some random nervous twitch."
Okay, section 3, commanding any room. This is all about projecting confidence naturally.
So here is a highly actionable mental checklist for walking into a room with absolute authority. Step 1, keep your chest slightly out and your shoulders back. But hey, keep it comfortable, right? Don't exaggerate it or you're just going to look stiff and awkward. Step 2, keep your chin slightly up. This subconsciously signals to everyone in the room that you can handle the situation. And step 3, maintain a steady gaze. Darting your eyes all over the place immediately broadcasts underconfidence and anxiety. Oh, and a very quick but absolutely critical warning here. Keep your hands out of your pockets. Plunging your hands into your pockets screams one of two things to the room. Either you're highly arrogant or you're hiding some intense nervousness. Honestly, neither is a great look. Just let your hands hang naturally at your sides. Which brings us to section 4, decoding world leaders, a perfectly neutral case study in power dynamics. Our sources provide a really fascinating neutral analysis of specific physical tactics used by world leaders on the global stage. For instance, Donald Trump is widely known for the dominance pull handshake. It's a tactic designed to force superiority and throw the other person physically off balance. Then you have Vladimir Putin, who often utilizes relaxed space claiming, literally sitting wide and comfortably to project absolute territorial control. On the flip side, when navigating interactions from a position of needing assistance, leaders like Volodymyr Zelensky might show micro-expressions like nose flares. Biologically, that's a classic sign of passive aggression and hidden frustration when you're on the receiving end of power dynamics. It is just wild to see how power is actively negotiated through these tiny micro-movements. All right, let's jump into section 5, social and romantic secrets. Time to navigate those complex dynamics. We've all been there, right? You walk into a party or a networking event, and everyone is already paired off in these tight-knit circles. So how on earth do you break into a group of total strangers without making it incredibly awkward? Well, the answer turns out to be this surprising little secret: stand near the food or the drinks. Research in our source material shows that proximity to resources subconsciously makes you appear way more likable and approachable to the human brain. You automatically get associated with the positive feeling of grabbing a snack or a drink, which makes it infinitely easier for people to just naturally strike up a conversation with you. Now let's fire through some rapid-fire social mastery cues. First off, look at people's feet. Seriously, if two people are chatting and their feet are pointed right at each other like a closed box, do not interrupt them. But if their feet are open, the group is approachable. Next up is preening. Fixing your hair, for example, is a primal subconscious signal of active interest. Also, pay close attention during a group joke. When everyone starts laughing, people instinctively look first at the person in the group they like the most. It's a huge tell. And finally, when you're breaking the ice, always compliment someone's taste, like their watch or their shoes, rather than their physical body. It shows respect and keeps you from coming off as creepy or defensive. But hey, what about when relationships start going south? Dr. John Gottman's research pinpoints two universal relationship killers that completely obliterate the concept of equality between partners. The first is contempt. You can spot this by a one-sided lip raise. It signals this toxic feeling of superiority over a partner. The second is disgust, which shows up as a crinkled nose. This is active physical dislike. If these microexpressions are frequently popping up in a relationship, the core foundation of mutual respect is, sadly, completely eroding.
This brings us to our final piece today, the universal assignment: building confidence from the inside out.
This right here is what the experts call the self-awareness audit. Basically, you need to sit down and list out exactly what you like and dislike about yourself, both physically and mentally. Why? Because if you're harboring hidden insecurities, maybe you really hate your smile, or you feel like you aren't articulate enough, those insecurities are absolutely going to leak out into your posture. You'll unconsciously hunch your shoulders, hide your teeth, and literally shrink yourself in social situations. Acknowledging these internal blocks is the only true way to stop them from sabotaging your external presence.
Which leaves us with this final crucial thought. Look, you can try to fake a power pose or force a steady gaze all you want, but true, authentic confidence, that's built from the inside out. If you don't master your own internal insecurities first, how can you ever expect to master your external presence? Take a little time today to do your own self-awareness audit and just watch how naturally your body language transforms. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.